Hello everybody and welcome back. Copenhagen Flames taking on G2 Esports here on the final map of the series. This is Nuke. And Copenhagen Flames have put up one hell of a fight. 16-6 on Inferno. 16-14 they lost on Dust 2. And now on the middle ground, or as it should play out, we're looking at one hell of a series. G2 may genuinely lose to Copenhagen, which didn't seem like a possibility when we started out. Today, tapping away, they've even got both of the opening duels.
Nadios and Refresh just combining there to take down those players that were looking for this yard control. There eventually returns one, and they decided that they want to actually push in and continue to fight for this, which was an interesting choice. Hooksy going to be taken down around main, and suddenly G2 have managed to flip this back into a 3-on-2 favoring them. Oh, Nadio still in the spawn though, a threat to be dealt with. Has gone ahead and claimed his second headshot for the round, but again being denied afterwards. And now Queenix being the last man standing. They know where he is. That's an incredible shot on the first, but unfortunately not ready for Amanek to swing back in behind that blue box. The pistol going over to G2, but it keeps up kind of how that previous map had gone, a competitive one swinging back and forth. Will we see the force play here from Copenhagen Flames? They might just be willing to take that one eco. But here, no, they're going to go for it. Yeah, CZ comes out, armor, nades, getting everything they can. Obviously, it's not going to be fantastic. But with the amount of SMGs in play from G2, there's still definitely some hope. These Deagles at range could also be quite useful. The MP9, the CZ can be a good weapon, even challenging up against these Mac 10s and such. So I'm not going to count them out. As I say that, though, Kenny S doesn't really give them any time to prepare themselves. Straight towards ramp. Just Kenny as well. So there's no one here to trade once he does go down.
Good shot by Farlig, makes sure he goes down. Smokes barreling out on outside, but watch out. Refresh, he's tucked in up close, ready to swing through those smokes and take them down if they make a little bit of noise and give him a gap. The rest of the team now know that Secret is compromised, and that's why you see them rotate down from Queenix. But as Refresh tries to poke the beast, there's still two players sat there watching for that kind of aggression. They know that when there's Deagles in play, those are the wilder plays that come through. And now, in a 4 versus 3, Copenhagen Flames have a deficit to recover from. It ain't too easy to play in these situations, but with one already down in Secret, they might have a chance.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, it is the Deagle, or was rather, yeah, the Deagle in the hands of Farlig. He also has the Mac 10 to work with. We're just waiting to see if he could just pick one off. For the moment, though, G2, I mean, they have 40 seconds left to make this commitment happen. They have that one player down towards Secret, sure. But they also now have one man moving up towards Heaven, potentially. So if they wanted, they could set themselves up for the A split also. So a few different options, but mostly they just need to make that kind of call pretty soon about where they do want to end it. Because time's getting a little low. This could be dangerous. Shuxi, though, with the CZ in towards main, unfortunately not really able to do anything. Queenix, though, from the bomb site, he does shut down the Heaven push, so they're going to need to deal with him quickly. Gets himself a second before eventually Nex is able to come through, and with that give them control of the bomb site. But Farlig in a 1-on-2, I mean, this is winnable. He has a Deagle as well. 43 health for Nexa coming in from Heaven. Not able to connect initially, but eventually will do so. And now Nexa's down there as well. Tagged up already, but trying to step out before the flashbang. Nexa, he just took a step back and had a better angle for himself. 2-0 for G2, but a very close round. That is not how they would want it to go against the Force buy. Obviously, Copenhagen Flames in this round can't really afford to get the buyout, unless they want to be mad and go for it again. I mean, who knows?
I don't think we're going to see the force up here. I certainly don't want to. Yeah, it's just going to be a nade and a flash for Queenix. He's actually moving towards outside by himself. I thought maybe that would be like a stack-up play. They would all rush outside. He'd flash, something like that. But the nade goes down. Now he's just holding it, waiting for some contact to come through. Let those pistols barrel forward. I guess his position at the moment allows him to flash in through Heaven if they were to push out onto site. But his teammates will be pretty much dead by the time he can react.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, right now they are finding some contact. That initial dink from Farlig helped out as Nadios decided he wanted to follow it up. He actually managed to get himself the kill. So, I mean, even if they can get one more frag in this round overall, they could it definitely would be worthwhile. Even the one kill so far, but if they were to get that second, it would put a little bit of damage in on towards that economy. And there we go. Refresh actually gets a double with the USB somehow. Still being hunted down. Eventually, Nexa deals with it. But that is a lot closer than they'd want. And Queenix has an AK. First frag being found. Obviously not knowing where Jax is as of yet, so it is still going to be a difficult one for him as he tries to swing in, especially. Jax was just posted up on the angle, but these rounds, man, how are they coming down to the wire every single time?
This is it. I mean, the damage Copenhagen Flames are able to inflict is what's getting us continuously thinking this is going to be a tight game. 3-0 is a good set of foundations built for G2 Esports. But the flames certainly aren't extinguished just
One
yet.
person alive every round so far for G2, including the pistol.
And you can see the impact that's having. I think they've got a Tech 9 on Kenny S at the moment. Yeah, it's not even being recovered into anything better. Playing this one out is a bit of a bonus, keeping as much money as they can. They need a bomb plan, to be honest, if they want to have a decent chance of fighting back. And I'm surprised Kenny doesn't even take a scout out of this. But
They've basically gone for a half buy despite having won the first 3 rounds, just because they know their economy's so low to ensure they can buy in this next one.
Exactly, and like you could think Jax could drop a scout, but he wants to keep the money up so they can get an AWP out. Everybody else could then buy, but the fact that they are 3-0 and with a half buy is just hilarious. You never see this really.
The 2A guys definitely still got damage. That's kind of the SMGs and the Tech 9, especially if they're bringing it in towards A right now, trying to close in that distance. See you closing the smoke could be a small issue. The flash goes in, actually does blind them up. Amanek, the back easily being just riddled with Mac 10 holes. Getting himself a second as he comes around to help his teammates towards the door, but it doesn't matter because Refresh comes in through main. But most importantly, Farlig from Heaven is able to quickly pick off 2 of them with that AWP, and suddenly it's all on Hunter. He's going to have to live up to his name and track down all 3 of these remaining players. Forces them being refreshing behind this vent, and unfortunately he won't even be successful in finding that kill. They'd get the dink, but it wasn't enough. 3 players survived for Copenhagen Flames. As we said though, G2 hadn't... They had kept a good bit of money from that round, but without the bomb going down, it's still not enough for them to buy. Even if it did, Nexo would have been a little bit low on money. At this point, they may just be considering taking that 1 eco, potentially giving over a second to Copenhagen Flames. Obviously, though, with this being Nuke, 3 rounds already for G2 on the T side isn't the worst. If they give away these couple rounds, just ensure they get back onto a full buy and get back to grinding out a few, then they won't be too worried. But it's definitely an opening back into this one for Copenhagen Flames, and also gives them a chance, especially in this round, to build up their own economy. They're all chilling in spawn. Nothing's been said in the chat, so it hasn't been. They haven't, no stops or anything have been called, and there is still Jax peeking towards outside. Are they doing like just a little tactical hawk in the spawn?
I think this is an old CS style pause.
I know Existence used to do it. They'd usually go sit on the roof and stuff. If I remember watching it correctly, that was a long time ago though.
I also like the molly that they threw there from inside in the previous round. You saw that landed on top of Hut. It landed on the other side of the wall, but it goes through the wall to Hut. Nice. Push the players off. Left Copenhagen Flames not being able to take the close range duels as they walked out of Hut. Although they did still win the round, obviously, but definitely caused some havoc on that A defense.
Nice shot by Refresh. Eventually, we did see all the G2 players actually move out of spawn, as you would expect. Not starting off too well for them. Really, the only hope here is for Jax to maybe pick up some openings with that Deagle. Unless they can close in the distance, perhaps around that A-bomb site. But I also don't want to count them out just because we were saying the same, obviously, when Copenhagen Flames were on their eco and Refresh managed to get 2 instant kills with the USP. So it's always possible if you catch the correct kind of timings and such, catch people off guard. Right now, it does seem like the focus is going to be over towards ramp. For the moment, just being Nodios, I believe, as well. And there we go. Jax on the Deagle immediately takes off the head, waiting for that rotation into the spawn as well. Follows up with the second. And now B could potentially be open for the taken. Thankfully, they do have a quick rotation coming in. But Queenix has to be careful, because if he goes down, the round is pretty much confirmed over at that point. Ideally, he's trying to do some damage, see if he can take 1 kill, potentially delay that bomb plant to set them up for the retake.
Copenhagen Flames are in trouble. Tactical pause of a round from G2 puts them so far ahead right now. The time ticking away. DBH have to make a move. The molly pushes a player out, but Nexa uses that as a chance to come up and force the fight. But now the swings coming through one after another. G2 fall, but it's left onto the AWP of Amanek. He's already got 1, knows the player's coming up close, and he finishes it off. 4 rounds for G2. They spent the first 30 seconds of this one sat in spawn.
All right. Next level. That's what their plan was. They were just like, all right, lads, we've come to a decision. Jax, just go headshot 2 guys on ramp. That's all we need.
But you got to plan those things, really, don't you? Listen, you have to hit your shots this round, okay?
That's 6 shots by Jax. That has to be said, but that's a heartbreaking round for Copenhagen Flames to lose. That destroys their economy, and being on the CT side and already at that point down 3-1, they could not afford that at all. Not at all. They're completely ruined right now. There's just a few pistols coming out. I'm not expecting a lot in this round. Again, if they can do some damage, at least keep the pressure on, that will be good. But we're likely going to be seeing G2 already with 5 on their T side. Not where they'd want to end it. Wouldn't be the worst place to end it. They'll obviously want to add a little bit more to it, but because it's so early, I mean, they have a lot of time to actually build on that foundation.
G2 just getting away with highway robbery, really being 4-1 up at the moment. Consider how those first 3 rounds went. They were so tight the whole way through. For a split second there, I thought Farlig was on the T side, and I was like, how the hell has that guy gotten there? Just the way he looked at him was so bizarre with the knife out. No, we're cool. We're cool. The heart attack is averted. It's so difficult sometimes on the map of Nuke. I must get that thing that splits them into the up and down.
It actually does that by default now, I believe.
It does, yeah, but it's
still a little bit
just
hard
it
to
splits
tell.
into 2 different ones, you know. It's
Until you
much easier
actually
then.
change, you don't know which one they're on. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But still. For G2 at the moment, 4-1, fantastic position to play from. They are going down into secret, and there's lots of pistols down and around this angle. Just to exemplify that, you've got Farlig and Hooksy. Well, now just Farlig. Still the 1 kill, the 2 kills, swinging it through. If they can keep on trading like that, you're going to be more than happy. G2 were forced to leave a player around here to protect the AK. Nobody else was going to try and go down and steal it, but it's not happened. There's an AWP on the floor as well. It's all down to Queenix. Sadly, he's not good to get the loot either.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a weird one. He dropped out at events and just didn't shoot at all. I don't know if he was waiting for the inaccuracy to reset, but that doesn't take too long anymore either. But yeah, I mean, not bad considering they had very little investment. They needed a few pistols. The fact that they were able to get 2 kills out of it is a decent spot. But as I said already, down 5-1. At this point, they really need to start actually capitalizing on the back of how close some of these rounds have been, and the fact that they haven't let the economy get completely out of control for G2. And by that, I mean they themselves need to start chaining a few rounds together. Obviously, with the full buy back in their hands, the op for Farlig as well being one of the more important aspects, I would say, considering how impactful he has been for them in general, and even just back on the 2 previous maps. The outside control, again, going to be coming in for G2, and Nex is creeping out. He's not looking to get into the vent. Instead, a little bit of a gap in the smoke gives him the chance to take down Queenix, and he just about escapes.
Well, G2 have got their man advantage, and it looks like they're going to get contact in a second. Gotta be careful! They line up for Farlig! The collateral comes through, swaps position in the vents, but they're already scared away, running with their tail between their legs, right back out to outside. What an opening for Copenhagen Flames, back in the lead after just 1 bullet.
Hooksy's in trouble. He's been watching the door, but he doesn't realize there was a player up close the entire time. Didn't even need the pounce at the end. Instead, Nex is just continuing to watch that vent, and eventually will be awarded for the patience that he displayed. That final player now, I believe, I won't swap for me, moving in from main indeed. So maybe he has a chance to catch this one-on-one, potentially against the player in door. Towards the bomb site itself is Kenny with the bomb, obviously. He takes the peek out and does manage to spot him, connects the damage. The nade doing a little bit further as well. At this point, I'm not fancying his chances on the retake, and he doesn't seem to really be cautious of the door position, where Nexa was just chilling. Getting himself 3 in that round. A nice try by Farlig. I mean, that collateral was massive just to give them a fighting chance. They didn't realize that he was going to be in the vent. They were presuming that it was just going to be someone holding on the stairs again, so they kind of were getting as close as they can to be ready to swing in together, and unfortunately just barely showing their sides. But they recovered the round and didn't give it away. Only going to be pistols yet again for Copenhagen Flames, so very likely we're going to be seeing at least 7 now on the T side for G2. Looking like they're definitely getting back into winning ways here on map number 3, not wanting to let this series slip away from them.
G2's T side, after those first 4 rounds, is looking pretty indomitable. The fact that they managed to come through with essentially a Glock play win, with the Deagle just the one leading the charge. Ever since then, they have been on the up and up. And Copenhagen Flames left down to the pistols. They've already gotten 1-for-1 trades. Again, making these rounds competitive to an extent. But then it feels like G2 just flick the on switch and they come out in force. Dual Berettas even for Farlig. That is an ambitious play. Oh, that was almost a collat lineup, and I was gonna cry.
A couple chances, unfortunately, not being taken by Refresh. As you said, the opportunity was definitely there. Pushing into the lobby now that they've lost outside. I don't know if the barrels are being spotted next to it, and as the door opens as well, they definitely know he's there. shooting away, gets himself 1 kill, but that's an AK. At 2 on 3, I mean, their chances of winning the round aren't spectacular, but they are beginning to rotate down quickly, and Queenix is in position if they're to actually continue down secret. Fortunately for G2, they make the decision instead to rotate it back into main, and with that should find the A-bomb site itself open. Nodio's been the only one who can really position himself quickly, potentially towards heaven. I don't think Queenix will be allowed to do a lot coming about an event, although with a smoke down, that might give him some room to work. I'm gonna toss another on it. Yeah, and I guess at this point, just saving the AK for sure. Queenix has Kevlar, so it could be worthwhile as well, but with the full loss bonus, I think it would be maybe a decent show for him to try and even take down one more of these G2 players. Force a little bit of extra reinvestment in the next round, because ideally they're going to want to start coming back and bringing it back to 8 rounds potentially. They don't really want to be losing another gun round if they want to come out with a somewhat decent CT score for themselves. There's a Mach 10. I would imagine won't want to retain that in the next round. Why are they going to keep pushing? There might be a chance here with the Deagle. Nah, not going to give the chances. I wasn't sure if they'd keep on going around towards the spawn. Happy enough to just chill in lobby and save their own weapons on the side of G2. And indeed, that Mach 10 immediately tossed away. Queenix is like, nope.
This is the turning point for Copenhagen Flames, or at least it has to be, Dean. I mean, if they don't pick this one up, then we're in not the nicest of territory for the CT side. 7 rounds is already too many to give to G2, but you can excuse them for having such a strong play in that eco. I think that really changed the game completely. But this is where anything in Copenhagen Flames' minds needs to change. You look towards G2, pushing down on ramp. Nodios is going to be the one to take contact, but he's already out of all of his utility. 1 minute 30 on the clock as his smoke left his hand to leave him with just a frag grenade to play with. But he has got to rotate in from Farlig to assist him with the AWP.
I've just returned to Mitch. I had to reconnect. My observer isn't working for some reason.
Same for me, sadly.
We're all right for the moment. We'll manage as we are. We will make do as G2, of course, potentially making this a quick game. I'm hoping that we will see, as I said, a recovery here from Copenhagen Flames now on their CT side. If they can bring it back to 8, that's not a terrible spot to be in. It's not going to be an easy one for sure. Right now, a lot of nades thrown out towards A. They're not looking to commit on this. They are making it look pretty convincing, though. Looking to instead favor on towards ramp, rather, where just Nodios is right now. I mean, there's a slow down, so that gives him the chance to actually come up close as well before he really spots them. He finds 1 kill and is able to back down, but Farlig, unfortunately, not getting the same opportunity. He's immediately dispatched of in towards Hell. And now that gives him some extra options. G2 may want to try and wrap this around and back up towards the A-bomb site instead, potentially. Indeed, that is the goal for sure. Right now, no one really in position. Phoenix is in the vents, and he just gets wall banged down by Hunter.
Nodio's by himself to try and recover this one with the AK. They know where he is. Down towards that B side, it looks like he's just going to have to save this one forward. And yeah, it looks like, Dean, we've got a little bit of an issue when it comes down to that observer. I don't know if it's back for you, but it certainly ain't for me. If it is,
nah,
when you
I realized because it's not telling me it's disabled when I swap off a person.
Usually when you swap, it goes boop, beep. When you turn on the auto director again, it makes like a little sound, but no. So we'll have to work on fixing that. I don't know why map to map it seems to have broken. I heard the report from the C stream as well. The same thing happened to them. And, apparently Zarx has a fix for it. So, we'll work on that. This is, as I said earlier, if you guys are just joining us for this series, this is the first day that we're trialing this with an observer online using a thing called Interactive Caster. It's prone to a lot of bugs, so we're figuring them out, figuring out what the fixes are. In fact, we only got it set up maybe 1 minute before we joined into the game. But, yeah. Looks like we should have it fixed in between halftime. But anyways, that's a little bit away.
If I remember correctly, we missed like 2 kills in the opening pistol because we were restarting our games to enable it.
Yes.
We didn't know about the command we had to put in until the last second.
Yeah, like a launch option and all that sort of... It's a lot of technical jargon that I'm not good at, but we figured it out in the end, sort of. Now we're in a position where... You know, for the first time, I'm actually noticing that on this HUD, we've got loss bonus. I've literally been thinking about it. I've been like, okay, they're on 3 round, and so... It literally says it right there. On the top of the player bars. Equipment value, loss bonus. Thank you, ESL. I don't know why I didn't check out the full HUD before. I'm just so used to it being the same, you know, most TOs are the same thing. They've done a good thing here.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's straightforward enough. The normal HUD, it doesn't obviously say the number, but it has the little bar.
Yeah.
It's
Right
only an
over
issue when some servers don't have those.
here. Certain ones. But 8-1 now should come as no surprise to anyone that G2's loss bonus is 1400. They have been dominating. 7 rounds. No. What is it? 4 rounds? 5 rounds in a row? 5 in a row.
5 in a row, yeah.
They've been doing phenomenal. And Copenhagen Flames called a tactical pause, and it hasn't helped them out. Refresh gets domed, trying to push in out to outside. There was no one there to support, looking up above. I think Farlig is in position. He was in position, but sadly, where Refresh was, the player didn't need to swing out. Hunter took a slightly shallower angle, so Farlig couldn't see him, and that obviously leads to Refresh getting taken out. Now into a man advantage for G2. Definitely not where Copenhagen Flames wanted to start the round out.
Nice position from Farlig. Playing up above the smoke so he can try and find that opening kill. Actually sticks around after the first as well. But he may have been given more opportunities. Now dropping down again, attempting to get aggressive. This time the flash comes over to deny it though. So at least G2 will be able to find his control now for themselves. I think Amanek actually getting blinded there by his teammate. With the smokes down though, it's not a big issue. They're able to get one player over towards credit card. They're beginning to cross into secret now as well. But this op is still holding from Farlig. Not quite connecting that shot. The flash comes over, blinds him. And Amanek, despite being blinded again himself, is still able to come out on top of that aim duel. So the man advantage being pulled back in favor of G2 yet again. A 2-man stack on towards the A bomb site at the moment. Nodios being entrusted to solo B as he moves down towards the double doors. As long as G2 stick together in this one, they should be having a relatively easy time. 20 seconds though, I mean, time definitely could be an issue here now. As they go on towards A, yeah, with the 2 players, if they're able to actually get a couple of kills and delay this, it could fall apart, but Jax picks up the double, and there it is, the bomb site's overrun. Nodios is going to try and make a quick play out of events and see if he can cut off the bomb from crossing, which he does successfully, but with everyone from G2 around and ready, they get the trade instantly.
Well, 9-1 is a hell of a scoreline for G2. It's the T side of Nuke, for God's sake. Look at how things started out. Copenhagen Flames, 16-6 up. Moving into the previous map, they literally had a 15. Threw it away with just the slightest bit of overconfidence, and they lost at 14-14, giving the map basically to G2. That was a real shame. They could have closed this series out, not a doubt in my mind about it, had they have played more patient. And now, G2 about to hit double digits before Copenhagen Flames pass 1. Ridiculous. The CT side pushed into main, but they're just getting out aimed by the AKs. As Nodios came through with a cheeky little deagle. But Refresh is all alone. SMG takes a kill. Look at his health afterwards. 40 health spam. Oh, he's almost got Amanek with an AK. I mean, that one-tap headshot. He definitely has a chance to get back into this. But he's so low, he has no idea that Amanek is tagged as well. So saving is the right call, but so unfortunate for him. What is one of the more winnable positions Copenhagen Flames have found themselves in post-plant.
Just still not quite good enough for them. I mean, we're Refresh on 6 health, you can't blame him. The only real option was to back away, didn't have a kit either. An AK at least to work with in the next round. Alongside that, they'll obviously have the full buy for themselves. They have plenty of economy on everything. The full loss bonus coming through. So it is going to be a strong investment, but yeah, I mean, G2, even if they don't get another single T round here, they're still coming out with 10, and they'll be in a fantastic position then, swapping onto their defense. And as you said, it is just a little bit heartbreaking considering how close we were back on Dust 2. At many points, it was, so many points rather, it was looking like either team could take it. Here we go, the op in play for Farlig yet again. No one's really trailing behind massively on Copenhagen Flames, so obviously you can't be blaming a specific player. But they're just getting outplayed in general. I mean, a pause comes true. Is this it's not actually giving me the number. Which have they used any tactical pauses before this?
It's 2 out of 4 at the moment.
2 out of 4. Okay, I'm not getting that. It just says counter-terrorist timeout for some reason.
Well, as in they have 2 out of 4 remaining. Yeah, so this is their second one being used up, and for the scoreline that's in it, I think we could have used one a little bit earlier on, or used a few more.
Yeah, no. Before each of those gun rounds, the last few gun rounds probably would have been good times.
10-1 is just ridiculous. G2 are the turnaround from map 1 to map 2, because like I said, they really could have won map 2. Like, all they had to do was throw their 2 smokes, and they had like a 90% chance of closing that map out. At least hitting an overtime. And instead, now they're getting absolutely dominated by G2. And I have to think, personally, this seems like it's there's going to be some mentality issues at play for Copenhagen Flames, knowing how close they were to the previous. Hunter with a good trade, and he gets 2. But they're actually returning it across the map. Queenix, Huxley, Farlick, all grabbing kills.
Yeah, I just don't know how Hunter managed to actually get 2 kills for himself there. Fortunately, with the damage that was done, and when Nodio's already positioning himself on towards B, it shouldn't really cost him too much. First kill found on Nodio's, leaving only that low health player, and an easy finish then as well being found. A second round here for Copenhagen Flames. As I said, even if they manage to pull it back to 5, G2 are still going to be feeling fantastic going into their second half. So this one's going to be a tough road ahead of them if Copenhagen Flames want to try and make this comeback a reality. But I mean, there's still obviously the opportunity for G2 to even improve on this T side with a few rounds remaining. Still having enough to buy here, still having enough to buy in the next if needed, and probably going into the one afterwards, they will have a little bit of money left over too. So we're going to need to see Copenhagen Flames really picking up the pace here in terms of actually chaining these rounds together and getting some momentum going for themselves. They're certainly not looking as confident either as they were back on map number 1 and 2. A little bit surprising because Nuke definitely is not a bad map for them. G2 just showing how capable they are and why they're considered towards those top teams in the world. Outside control not being the main goal right now, but Jax is here looking super fine. Does have Kenny S as well, and yeah, they actually see Refresh trying to make his way around that smoke. Phoenix looking like he was considering following it up, but the Molotov will stop it. But most of them moving in towards ramp, I guess trying to set themselves up for that split. Again, the collateral being lined up by Farley. He doesn't get the second kill off the back of it, but has quickly pulled this back into a nice spot for Copenhagen Flame.
A 4v4 still looks okay for G2, but again, the damage done to Hunter is significant in any duel he comes up into. Copenhagen Flames, though, they've got no information. It's just about sitting back and waiting for something to happen. And something certainly is going to happen with G2 on 10 rounds, looking for a little bit of an A push. They got outside controller, so they thought, but they walked straight into the crosshair of Farlig. As Jax falls, the rest of the team lobs the utility, and in through main they go. Straight out. Huxley's with the opening. Hunter falls, and it's all down to Kenny S. And he's down as well. Copenhagen Flames up on the board with a third. They've got a long road to go. They've got to pick up the next 2 rounds, without a doubt. And G2 have got no shortage of money, even after the rounds they're losing, the rounds that are close. They keep it rolling. AK is out on everybody, and they can afford to do the same in the next round.
Yeah, that's the problem. Despite getting themselves that round, is it a little bit too late at this point because they're continuously up against buys here for the rest of this half at least. Still given, as I said, a chance for G2 to try and improve even further on what is a tremendous score for themselves. As again, they are going to go with these outside smokes. This time, though, looking to follow it up a little bit more. The last few times they've actually thrown these down, didn't really move alongside of them. So will it pull rotations is the question. I think that's Huxley who's gotten aggressive in through lobby, I believe. So this could get really dangerous. Yeah, that flank is going to be coming through relatively quickly. It's also given plenty of time for them to rotate down. Oh my god, Nexa! He just turned around in time to spot it. That is heartbreaking for Huxley. Oh, Farlig, he is regressing here. Jax didn't actually post himself up on the angle, so Farlig does somewhat catch him off guard as he steps around. So there's the return at least.
Sadly, my auto director wasn't feeling it. Again, 2 rounds. This one and one more, and we'll have it fixed. We'll be good for the rest of the day. Just those small technical glitches as we get used to the new system. The push that's come through from the CTs leads them to believe that their backs are clear, but Nexa, he's tucked around here. Refresh finds one. Nexa knows there could be someone around Squeaky, but not pushed through. He's not ready for it. And a good kill for Nodios. Leaving an... Oh, okay, nice by Farlig. Little shot through the glass, leaving Hunter all alone. He looks to swing. Farlig's not ready for it at all. Now this could genuinely be a bomb plant. 20 seconds left on the clock. Nodios tucked in single door, and hello. 4 rounds on the board for Copenhagen. They've done it. They've pulled it back. Just one more to go. And we'll be pretty confident with where they're at. And that bomb plant would have been quite valuable to them. Because now... Well, actually, Jax gets dropped in AK, so we can still afford utility. Never mind. It's all good in the hood. They just have so much
would
cash.
Help get an op if they wanted it, but
they still could. I mean, Aminet could buy armor and an op, but he wouldn't have had armor or utility. But for an opper, still ain't necessary. I think they might be discussing that now in the pause.
Potentially. I think it's more so the lack of the helmet that could be an issue for him. I guess, though, they are up against an AK over there. The op then in the hands of Farlig, so it's only really the AUG and the M4s that would be getting a little bit of an advantage out of that. So they are definitely considering what they want to go for here. That's why it's taken so long. But nah, they just go for the rifles in the end. Playing it safe, giving themselves all the nades they could ever ask for. And looking to try and add one more round here, because we have seen 3 in a row for Copenhagen Flames. They've definitely begun to pick it up. It's just kind of, is it too late? I mean, it's always better late than never, but sometimes it is just a little bit too late to be able to get that comeback out of it. But who knows? If they get this 5th round, if they get off to a good start with the pistol in the second half, then I'm definitely not going to count them out. Right now, though, looking for some ramp progression. Potentially. I don't know if they're going to follow up with it. Perhaps just keeping this setup right here. Firelink to get the first point of contact with the op. If they try and swing into trade the op, then Nadios up close will catch them off guard. So I don't think they really want to go too aggressive with that unless they see a lot of presence being shown elsewhere on the map.
The smoke swinging through outside are going to keep Refresh tucked around this position. He's going to wait to get an opportunity as they push for. Actually, he's going to get an opportunity. Amanek is on his way out there. Farlig with the aggressive ramp play. Already cut off Jax. They fall back immediately. And that prompts Amanek to no longer continue forward. He would have walked straight into the AUG if he tried to make that A split happen. And for G2, it looks like it is just going to be a straight up A hit. In through main, in through Squeaky. They're lining up their utility as we speak. 40 seconds left on the clock. Copenhagen are probably going to heavily rotate for this.
Yeah, most likely. Right now, though, Farlig has actually, dropped down from heaven. In theory, now could position himself quickly to help over towards ramp, but not quite in time because we've already seen a few kills coming through from G2 to fight right back into this one. Fortunately, that lobby aggression from Hooksy works out. He's able to get himself 1 kill, realizing now that they are committing down on towards B. He will rotate in pretty quickly. But they're going to be coming in from 2 different positions, so it does rely on Refresh being able to win out this fight against Hunter right now. Oh, and he's not going to be able to. Now Hooksy's left alone. They know he's in the single door with the bomb being planted. They can just play time on this one. This is going to be so difficult for Hooksy to do anything. Places that Molotov, hoping there was someone in dark that he could flush out to get that opening, but now at least knowing where they are. Again, though, not really helping out. Obviously, he has to go for it at this point. He has to defuse, get a flash as well to help somewhat. But unless G2 takes some ridiculous fights, then I don't think it's going to be possible. And indeed, bomb already ticking away. Pretty much has to stick it now, although Kenny is going forward. But he's going to be able to find himself the frag. So there it is, 11-4 at the halftime. G2 are able to pull 1 more back. We've seen 3 in a row just before that for Copenhagen Flames to recover into a somewhat doable half now moving into the second half. But it's going to be tough. And of course, we're going to have to wait to find out after this break.
That I really felt fine. Now I'm trying to rewind. Cause lately I've been feeling kinda hazy, like I'm stuck in a daydream, and you're not here to save me. Down and out, I hit the floor. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore. No, no. Don't take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know, 'cause baby, you feel like home. Reminiscing the late nights, we'd fall in love in the moonlight, then wake up at sunrise. Now I'm just thinking that we should go back to when we were, hold each other to feel good. Down and out, I hit the floor. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore. No, no. Don't take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know, 'cause baby, you feel like home. my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know, 'cause baby you feel like home.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you're lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're
And welcome back, everybody. 11-4. Starting out the second half, G2 are in a prime position to close out Nuke. Copenhagen Flames have got a lot to do on this attacking side, and already we're seeing a little bit of damage come through as Jax takes Queenix out.
Yeah, the quick contact there, trying to get the outside control, just wrapping in towards the A-bomb site right now. Aminek's actually going to be able to pick off two quickly, looking for more, somehow staying alive as he reloads. And Hunter now ready to pounce from behind the bomb site. They have no idea. He was just hiding there the entire time. Farlig left alone in a dangerous situation. And yeah, he's not able to do anything. Go straight down. 12-4 for G2. They dominate the pistol round and extend that lead. They get right into winning ways after the halftime break. I do need to fix my X-ray. Do you need to do the same, or have you already?
No, I'm way ahead of you, Dean.
You're right ahead of me.
Big
Normally,
brain
that's
plays.
usually how it is, yeah.
12-4. What a game by G2 so far. Winning out that pistol and not allowing a bomb plant is going to leave them in a position to most likely connect 13, as Copenhagen Flames have just got Glocks. But G2, well, they haven't had good experiences with Glocks so far in this game. Those two brought on a bit of an awkward situation. A lot of steps on outside, man. They are making so much noise, and it's for good reason. The rotate then going to come in as they fake running around, jumping down, and all that sort of good stuff. It's a ramp play to come through. Jax with an auto shotgun gets two, but then falls. And with that, the auto shotgun going to close in the distance towards this player up close. Kenny S could be in trouble. He's got the spray to take him down, but low HP doesn't need to commit to this fight any further. They could get a kill with this auto. That'd be great. Lots of extra cash for them then.
Yeah, I mean, it would help out a lot, as you said, but I don't know if G2 are going to be willing to give him the chances, knowing that this is probably the weapon that he has. They definitely should be just playing this passively, letting him try and make the first move. And at the moment, he's very worried that they could be coming from anywhere, just constantly swinging back and forth, expecting a flank to be coming in through lobby, which isn't currently happening. Once he steps over on that side, though, which is hurt by the player who's below there on ramp, Kenny realizes he can now close in the distance a little bit because the shotgun's no longer up close, and he just easily closes that round out. 13-4. We will, of course, see the buy now coming into play for Copenhagen Flames, but not going to be having the up. It will just be the rifles, and if this gun round doesn't work for them, then we're likely going to be seeing mapping serious point for G2, unless they just want to be buying straight back up again into a force in the next round. So this one's pretty much do or die. This is the issue of having such a weak first half. If they had have got the pistol off the back of recovering a few rounds towards the end, then maybe we could have seen them having a chance to start making the comeback a reality. But once they lose the pistol, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, indeed. Well, losing the pistol or getting the... Had they at least have gotten a bomb plant, you know, the possibility was there, but the timeline that's currently built means that this is their only chance to close it out. If they lose here, you know, like you said, G2, they're 15 rounds on the board. They've probably won the game. East side of Nuke is not the most accessible of sides. Unless you're G2, apparently. One ticks away. We're going to look towards outside smokes and indeed a little bit of a take with most of the team on their way out. The smokes are fairly passive. Sometimes you see them a little deeper there to allow you to push in towards hell, but this time there's no garage control being sought after. Exclusively down through Squeaky. Or through Secret, excuse me. Squeaky's kind of the other part of the map. They're going to shift walk down. You notice that they take a little bit before actually moving into those positions. They avoid the nades, any players swinging through on the back of the flashes as well, just ensuring that they're not being spammed by M4s or ops or anything like that. Made it down to secret safely, and bit of a step being made. That's actually going to be heard by the player on the bomb site, who I think is Jax. Exo's fallen, so it's all down to Jax to make this hold happen. He's completely undetected. Ramp is distracting for him out for one, even a second, but unfortunately it's not enough. His teammates all fell in the interim. The Hunter's got to clutch it out.
Yeah, Jax was hoping his teammate would find a little bit more success there as he set himself up for a few kills, but didn't end up happening. As you said, no Hunter alone trying to come in from the vent. Farlig's up close, so if he gets this kill and does so quickly, then it's still a winnable clutch for sure. We'll be able to take down Farlig, but drop the 66, a little bit of damage at least being connected. No nade, well, no utility. There is actually a nade, because he does have a HE, but it's not going to be too useful in this position. Tries to see if he can toss it up above the rafters off the silo, I believe. But Queenix was just holding the door peak already. So 5 for Copenhagen Flames. They do come through and pick up that opening gun round on their T side, which we said was a necessity after dropping the pistol in the subsequent round as well. So it gives them a bit of a lifeline, but they need to keep this up. This round at least should be quite straightforward. We're only seeing a few pistols actually being purchased by G2. One player pulls out the Kevlar. So we likely do see them reaching 6 rounds at least, but it's going to have to be another few gun rounds going in their favor before I really start to believe.
Said it needs to be those couple rounds, the string together, build up a little bit of momentum and a little bit of confidence on our side, even that they're comfortable on the T side, that they've got the prowess to make this happen. It's definitely not the easiest of situations to come back from. As they look to move towards outside, you've got G2 having Kenny S tucked in towards secret, waiting for them to make a move. We can use that deagle. There are a lot of pistols in play for G2, despite the fact that this is an eco, but Nexa having armor as well. The contention can be made. The only player that is a USP as well is Jackson. You can see he's holding super passive in the CT spawn up behind the spawn itself at the forklift. That's just spotting out that they're not coming in through heaven and keeping that control for his team. Kenny S opens it onto Hooksy on outside. Now they're going to look to maybe find some direction in the round. That's going to cause problems because they're about to run right into the pistols on the A side.
Yeah, at least clearing out the back of the vent so they can focus a little bit more towards the site and the main itself. But as you said, those pistols up close can still cause some damage. Nexa eventually able to pop through the smoke and get himself one, and Kenny as well going to be able to drop Queenix. It's suddenly all on the Nodios. He's already being tagged up. That Molotov is not going to be burning anyone. He threw it into the heaven of heaven.
The poor guy. I've never seen that molly hit before. Oh, man. He was clearly aiming for the vent shaft, but for it to land above it. Oh, the poor... There was just nothing he could do, really, was there? Running away. He would have had the escape.
Tried to sprint.
The sad thing about that, it's
if
like...
he landed the molly, he probably could have just planted there as well. I think that was his initial goal. And then once he saw the molly, he was like, nah, I can't anymore.
Yeah, he could either have planted, or he could have made it to B. I think maybe he was even gambling on that molly still spreading below it. It can be hard to predict exactly how far down they go. Oh, those nades. Oh, they're going through the smoke onto a 2-man ramp hold. It doesn't get much unluckier than that. A decent attempt at the round from Copenhagen Flames, but look, not a single player made it out of that smoke when there was less than 2 people on ramp. Because even by the time that last player goes through, oh, there's already a rotate. You're done. Bombs dropped and refresh is sat there. That was a buy round. That bomb plant would have helped, because all memes aside, in that missed molly, had that have landed, had the bomb have went down, you wouldn't have looked at Mac 10s in that round. They would have all had AKs, and then you're probably thinking about that a little differently. Are we going to rush ramp? Are we going to go straight through the... Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's where you take it a little bit more in a calculated route. This could be looking like a much prettier picture from Copenhagen Flames. And just contemplating the fact that, again, they could have won Dust 2 14-14. They had the round. They threw it away. And here they are about to be knocked out of the series by G2 in one that would have been amazing for them to win. It would have been the talk of the town.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem, as you said, at many points in Dust 2 that they could have closed it out. That map was constantly back and forth. We never knew who was going to end it until those last 2 rounds when it just kind of shifted back in favor of G2. And this one just looks way too out of reach. I mean, 10 rounds just for an overtime, then they have to fight for the victory. I'm not fancying their chances. They do have a couple SMGs alongside their pistols here, the nades as well, giving them the chance to execute. And it does look like they're going to favor on towards A, which is pretty standard with the buy that they have available. But those mollies aren't actually going to catch any of these players. You can see the setup right now between the vent and the bomb site itself. The Molotov eventually going in to force out Hunter. He's still able to get himself a kill from it, though. Kenny S given time to rotate in and help out, as is Nexa. And now it's all on Farlig to try and clutch a 1-on-3 to save the day here for his team. And that is not going to be allowed. 16-5 on Nuke, despite having a very close second map. G2 just come straight in and